Yo guys, this is CRWNS. I'm here with Poducer, the podcast for producers. We're chopping it up. Let's get it.
Let's get into it. Yo, thank you for taking a second.
My pleasure, man. Yeah.
So, let's see what we got here. Something I wanted to ask some of the other artists, which I forgot to do, is why CRWNS?
You know, I wish I had a good story behind it. I was just trying to think of a cool DJ name. I think I was like a sophomore in college. And I was just scribbling shit down and whatever sounded cool kind of stuck, and CRWNS is one of them. So there's not really a good story. I should just make one up though. I should just have something funny. But you know, during that time too, it was all the DJs were taking the vowels out of their name too, so I was fucking around with that, but it just kind of stuck, man, so I kind of wrote with it, yeah.
So it's CRWNS without an O.
Correct. Just CRWNS, yes.
Gotcha.
So it's a little edgy, you know, it's a little off the beaten path, you know?
Yeah, it's in that like era where a lot of people were doing that.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But also, the one thing I like to say is sometimes people have really interesting stories. Like, I put so much thought into my name, and then other people, it's like, yo, I just thought this sounded cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think what's cool is sort of like, even if there's no meaning behind your name, your sort of artistry gives it meaning. You know, so I think the name itself is kind of irrelevant. It's like who you're sort of presenting yourself as under that moniker. You know, so I'm still trying to figure that out. I think a lot of artists are, but
yeah, it might manifest into something like I'm a king. Yeah, I'm royalty.
Royalty. Yep. There could be some good branding ideas with that stuff. So yeah.
For sure. All right, man. So something we do on the long form podcast is I ask all of my guests, what was your first concert? Not your first gig, but like the first show you saw.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind was Chicago used to have this venue called Congress Theater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it shut down because it was just
wild place.
Yeah.
It was like lawless.
It really was, but it was fun too. I mean, assuming that you didn't like die, right? But it was Rusko, so it was Rusko headlining Congress Theater. It was like I think my first ever like EDM show. And me and my friend got there like 2 hours before doors opened because we wanted to like get to the front, and we were just super hardcore. I think we saw Rusko in his tour bus, and we were like, Rusko! But yeah, man, Congress Theater, that really influenced me. It got me into dance music, and that, as you know, that place was just insane, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, dude. I think my first electronic show was at Congress too. It was either like Skrillex or...
Skrillex there too, yep.
Yeah, we might have been at that same show.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many shows he played there. And then also, it was either like Dr. P or Flux Pavilion. That was another one where I don't remember if it was that first or what. But
yeah.
Good time. Now we got the Concorde. The Concorde's pretty cool if you're
fun, man.
from Chicago. I don't think it's like the same thing, but similar name.
Yeah.
If you could just describe your sound. Like what, when people go to see a CRWNS set, what do they expect to hear? And also, is that different than like your music production? Like, do you play a wide variety of music?
Yeah, good question, man. So I definitely consider myself like a performer and a DJ first. Like that's how I got into dance music and eventually production. It was all through DJing. So I definitely, that comes easier for me, and like that's sort of where I really like I think flourish. So if you come to a CRWNS set, I think I was just talking about this with my friend, but yeah, I'm very sort of focused on like contrast. So playing a set where there's sort of these twists and turns, and it's not just like one-dimensional. I think one of my pet peeves is having a DJ just play like, even if it's a good set or well transitions, it's like the same sound, the same BPM, the same type of sound design. So I always try to mix it up, and I come from like an open format DJing background. So I play shows at bars and just play like hip hop and pop music, throwbacks. So yeah, I try to bring that sort of influence into my dance music set. So I'm just sort of reaching all around and getting influences from like music 10 years ago, or like the new stuff that's coming out now, but it's sort of all over the place, but still cohesive, if that makes sense. So that's kind of a challenge. Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Like I heard you just played, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like an acapella of something on top of another track, and it's like having the throwbacks, but then also having like a new spin on it with whatever genre, you know, like I heard you playing some garage. Like there was.
I love the garage stuff, man. That's really fun for me to play right now. I'm playing a lot of that tomorrow for my North Coast set.
Oh hell yeah! Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be at North Coast tomorrow.
Come through 5:30.
5:30
at Club Coast at the Speakeasy, that new stage. It's inside. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say where the location is because
it's fine. This will come out after.
Okay, perfect. It's in the stadium, so it's just like up the stairs on one of the sides of the stadium, the main stage.
Word.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Playing a lot of garage, playing a lot of hip hop and mashups and stuff like that. So
cool. Well, I really hope I can make that set. It's gonna be a chaotic day, but it should be fun.
Yep.
What are some artists right now who inspire you? Could be someone you just like spinning their tracks. It could be someone who influences your music production.
Yeah. So it's funny you're doing this interview because I told you before this, I do a lot of artist interviews too.
Dude, we should fucking link, man.
Yeah, let's link, bro.
Do you live in Chicago?
I do live in Chicago. Born and raised. I'm here, yeah. So I run a music blog called Run the Trap. And
you run the Trap.
Yep.
Dude, fuck it. I listen, dude, Run the Trap. Now I'm geeking. Like, I found so much good trap music off there. So thank you.
Dude.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, we get that reaction a lot when I tell people about Run the Trap. They're like, wow, like you guys are responsible for like showing me all this music like 10 years ago, or like the SoundCloud era. So it's cool to hear that. Yeah.
All the Uzi and like
all like the SoundCloud remixes and stuff like that. But anyways, I say that because I think, trap music is a big influence for me too, But I think in the last few years, it sort of fell by the wayside a bit. I think like rhythm got really big and like tech house got really big. And now there's guys like Knock2 and ISOXO really sort of making trap like dope again and really sort of pushing the envelope. So those are guys that right now inspire me a lot. I was able to hang out with Knock2 when he played at Lollapalooza a few weeks ago.
Nice.
And yeah, that man is just like built different, dude. He just like, everything is so like orchestrated, from the visuals to the production to the sets to what he was wearing on stage. And that's what I appreciate about these young guys coming up, is that they're taking it beyond just the music and the DJing. They're really thinking about it as just an artist on all angles. So
for sure, dude. I've heard a term, Festi Trap 2.0. Like, not saying that.
I might steal that from you. That's good.
I love the festival trap, but I also just love the like good old bare bones trap also, you know what I mean?
Stick sort of, yep, exactly.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, that's dope. Yeah. Here's just like a random hot take fun question, which actually would have been good for Run the Trap, but what's something that people would be surprised to know about you? Like just some random fact that people would be like, oh, what? I don't know. He drives a bus. Or is that, you know what I mean?
I drive a bus. No, I'm joking.
Hey, what? I'm a bus driver.
Okay, random fact that would surprise. Well, so I just graduated from graduate school.
Congratulations.
So, clinical mental health counseling. So I do therapy part-time, which is sort of interesting because it's such a different space than like being at a club. So it's been cool sort of navigating these two different professions. So I guess that's something that people would not know about me, that I'm a therapist too. What else, man?
I mean, that's a pretty good answer.
Yeah, okay, that's not bad.
Like, people probably in your close circle know that.
Close circle, but it's cool, too, because I'm trying to think about how to sort of, like, merge these two lives, too. Like, is there...
Well, music is therapy.
People, 100%, dude. And especially for me as the artist, getting up there performing, like, it is very therapeutic. Yeah. People always ask, like, oh, how do you, like, you got to, like, combine the two in some way, and that's interesting to me, but I haven't really figured it out yet.
Bro, you got to get some healing bowls and just like do that whole thing. I really want one.
I have a cousin who like is super interesting. He's sort of like a sound healer. He's a fractal artist. He goes to like
He's deep.
He's deep. He like, goes to Costa Rica and takes ayahuasca and is just like super in touch with himself, and he's big onto that stuff. So I want to learn more from him in terms of the sound healing stuff, because that's interesting, So.
Hey, you could sample him too.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
That might work out. Then you don't have to invest as much.
Exactly.
Where can people find you?
Instagram, it's _crown, CRWNS _. Most of my music is on SoundCloud. I say Instagram probably is the most.
Instagram might be the best place. For sure, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming.
Check out runthetrap.com. Run the Trap on Instagram. We post a lot of funny memes and new music and concert footage and all that good stuff. So
definitely check out Run the Trap, man.
I might be interviewing either Nightmare or Alice in Wonderland tomorrow. So, and it's actually going to be potentially my first video interview. Oh, yeah. So I'm nervous, dude, because I've done like the long form sort of like just interviews where we transcribe it to audio, so it's not on camera.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. So this is good practice for me to be in front of a camera, you know, and figure it out. So.
For sure, dude. You just got to think about the camera not being there.
Yeah.
Like that's. I don't like being in front of the camera either.
Yeah.
So, well, good luck with that, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you again for coming through.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
I wish you the best, man.
Hell yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Cool. Peace.